Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and today we're talking about what's new for 2020. Now, of course, it's late 2019. It's actually December when I'm filming this, and I've created a list of all the things that are new on every model in our Kia lineup. So if you want to know what's coming that's new for 2020, this is pretty much the list, but I'm going to leave things out. I'm going to have to flesh things out later. But this is a good sort of State of the Union, sort of throne speech kind of thing if you're Canadian, about where we're headed. So here we go, 2020 Kia Rio. First of all, big thing, new transmission. The IVT transmission that we use in the Kia Forte, in the Kia Soul, in the Kia Seltos, is now available in the Kia Rio. And I've driven the car and it transforms the car. It really is a good transmission. So keep in mind, people don't like IVT transmissions, CVT transmissions. The reason they don't like them is because they haven't driven a modern CVT or IVT. And really what it does in the economy car, it transforms the car, makes it better to drive, makes it more efficient. It's really, really good. And of course, the auto journalists are the toughest on these transmissions, and they like the car. The Soul with the IVT just became Motor Trend top 3 finalists for Car of the Year. The Kia Forte was the Canadian Car of the Year with that transmission. Not a problem at all. It's actually really much better. So, big thing in the Rio, just that transmission. Everything else, very, very similar. All right, Kia Forte. We're going to leave a few things out, but they are repackaging some of the equipment levels on the Forte. They really want to make that still a value proposition, really good car for value. So they're increasing content, they're changing content in there, and that whole repackaging is going to make it a really good value. Still, keep in mind, we're already dealing with the Car of the Year in the past. The Small Car of the Year, top 3 finalists for Canadian Car of the Year was the Kia Forte. Now they're repackaging it already to make it even better. They also have the new GT model, so now you've got that turbo engine, 1.6 liter turbo engine in the GT model, and the Forte 5 is now out, which is really good. It's not just a shortened Forte 5. We've got videos on our YouTube channel, so check out the Forte 5 and the Forte 5 GT. And we'll do more videos on the Forte, of course. When as the 2020 models hit the showrooms, we'll talk about some of the feature differences. Kia Optima, that's a car that we don't sell in huge volumes anymore. They have sort of eliminated some trim levels. So we've got EX and EX Plus trim levels only, and we've repackaged some of those trims to give it really great value. There is a 2021 Optima. There is on the Korean website the next Optima. They call it the K5. If you want to hop on the line and search for the Kia K5, that's what the next Optima is going to look like. I don't even know if it's going to be called the Optima when it comes here. If we see that car, it will be a 2022 model year maybe, but that means it'll show up in 2021. There's no plan to bring it out in 2020. So if you're looking for an Optima, what we have is what's there. 2021 will probably be the introduction of the next model year. There is a PHEV, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle Optima. It is, they have stopped production of that car already. So it is a 2020 model. It's a limited production car. If you want to get it, we can still probably get it, depending on when you're watching this video. But it is an interesting car as well. So you get 40 plus kilometers of pure electric range. The rest of the time it's a hybrid. Really cool car, but very, very, very limited production on that car. So if you want it, give us a call right now. All right, Kia Stinger. If you want a 4-cylinder Kia Stinger, buy one now. There will not be a 2020 4-cylinder Kia Stinger in Canada. So I noticed on Kia's social media pages, they're advertising that car today, and the reason they're advertising it is because you should buy it today if that's the car that you want. There may be some repackaging of the Stinger, but essentially it's going to go unchanged for 2020. Kia Soul. We already have the 2020 Kia Soul. It's sitting right in front of me right now. 2020 Soul has been redesigned. It is fantastic. Like I said, Motor Trend called that car top 3 finalists for its Car of the Year. So really, really good car there. We also have 2 versions of that in an electric car. We have the Premium and Limited, so 248 kilometers of rated range or 383 kilometers of rated range. And real world in the summer, those high range cars are getting right around 500 kilometers of real world range depending on who's driving it. So those are real world electric cars that are out today. Very, very good cars. Limited production of those as well, but we can still get you one. All right, Kia Niro. So if you haven't seen the video that we did on the Kia Niro at the LA Auto Show, check out our playlist for the LA Auto Show, or you can check our walkarounds playlist. We did do a quick video of the 2020 Kia Niro in LA. Now at that point I didn't have any information on it, so I'm using the information I have with some of the things I actually saw with my own eyes, and I can tell you that it is getting a whole bunch of subtle changes. So new bumpers, new lights, those are kind of minor things. It does have what we call paddle shifters, but I don't think they're paddle shifters. I'm thinking it's more in line with our EV cars, where those paddle shifter looking things work with regenerative braking. So we know there's some changes coming in that car, some repackaging. So the more we find out about that car, we'll have more videos for you, and we will tell you about that car. But it is getting a whole bunch of little subtle upgrades. Big thing you're going to notice is that big 10.25 inch screen. So an extra wide screen is going to go in that car on the higher trim levels. But that is going to be an intriguing car for 2020 because it's going to look very similar to the non-trained eye. It'll have a couple subtle updates more in line with the EV look. The regular hybrid will look more like the Niro EV, but it has a lot of features coming, just subtle tweaks that are going to make that car significantly better, I think. And I already, like I said, I've always loved the Niro that we have right now. There's still a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, still an EV. The EV for 2019, they're done. So you're buying a 2020 if you buy that today, and that car will be available with the bigger screen as well, 10.25 inch screen on the electric vehicle. So you're getting that bigger screen that is in our Kia Soul, the high-end Souls, or the Kia Telluride. That'll be available through many levels of Niros, whether it's an EV, whether it's a regular Niro. I would assume the plug-in hybrid as well, although I haven't fully confirmed that. So a lot of little Niro tweaks coming, even though it'll still be essentially the same car to the naked eye. An interesting car to keep an eye on for 2020. Kia Seltos. We've got at least 3 videos, maybe even more up on our YouTube channel right now. I created a Seltos playlist for that car. So we know the car is coming to Canada. We went to the LA Auto Show. So again, if you're looking at our playlist, look at the LA Auto Show. We have our first look at the Kia Seltos there. Very intriguing car. It's going to sell in volumes. It's an all-wheel drive, small SUV. Size-wise between the Soul and the Sportage. Should be priced between those two as well. Really going to be a good value. A ton of great features. Great space. It's got that big 10.25 inch screen on some models there as well. So again, that bigger screen. It's very similar in features to the Kia Soul. So if you like some of the features in the Soul, but you're looking for an all-wheel drive, this is going to give you that. It's going to have some cool colors, just like the Soul. Neptune Blue is one of the bright colors. So some similar color schemes to the Soul, but a raised platform, all-wheel drive, more space, more trunk space for sure, and just a really intriguing car. And it should be priced very competitively in that small crossover segment. So it's going to be a really interesting car. I've got video on that already. And it's going to be actually a 2021 model, so it's going to come out probably March or so of 2020, but it will be a 2021 model. So every car I've talked about so far and every car I will talk about is a 2020 model, except for the Seltos. If you're doing your research, it'll be a 2021 model. Seltos. People were asking me how to spell that the other day. All right, Kia Sportage. 2020 is already out, so it's been a repackaged car. What we do is we call it a facelift, a mid-cycle facelift. So it's new bumpers, a little bit new lights, front and rear. It does have a new screen in there. It is not the 10.25 inch screen, but it's still a new screen, looks really good. More safety, more technology. That car's a really good value right now. So if you're looking at a small crossover, again, the Seltos will be a little bit smaller, a little bit anyways, and the Sportage will be a little bit larger. We're gonna have a lot of options in that crossover segment, but the Sportage is worth looking at if you haven't considered it in the past, with that updated look, updated features. And breaking news, so this is breaking news for 2020, we just found out about this just the other day. They will make the Sportage available with sort of a dark package. I don't know if they're gonna call it the black package or the S package, depends on what they're gonna call it. It will have black or dark rims, very dark rims anyways. We have video of this at the LA Auto Show of the Sportage, the Sorento in the LA Auto Show. We sort of did in our LA Auto Show playlist, there's some pictures of that. But it will come with dark rims as an option. It won't be dark rims across the whole trim line. And there's gonna be other trim features there. So just like at the LA Auto Show, the Sorento with the dark rims, Sportage will have dark rims available. It looks really sharp. Just kind of a nice updated look to that for if you like that kind of thing, which I kind of do. Kia Sorento, some more breaking news. The dark rims will also be available on that model. So again, not all the trims will have it, but if you like that look, you can get that look in the Sorento. It's also got improved safety features. There's no SXL trim on the Sorento anymore. So that's that top line trim. Basically, if you're looking at the SXL, which was the top line Sorento, we're probably gonna move you to the Telluride at this point. It makes more sense than having two cars that kind of compete price-wise. Telluride's a really good high-end SUV. So there's still a high-level trim, still that SX trim, but the very, very top trim, which was limited sales anyways, is no longer, and you can look at the Telluride in that market now. Top line Sorento buyers are encouraged to look at the Telluride. We mentioned that. All new, oh, that's right, all new Sorento is coming in 2020, but probably in the fall, very late in the year, very, very late in the year, which means this is the last model year for the current Sorento, which means if you know anything about car sales, this is the year you get the best value on that car. They've added the features, they've added the content, and they usually keep the price fairly low and make incentives pretty good. So if you're looking at a Sorento or you're looking at anything in that class, Sorento is going to be a very good value for 2020 because that's when you move a lot of, you get good deals on those cars to move them along before the new model comes out, which again, I know nothing about, but it will be out probably late, potentially late 2020. Kia Telluride, all new model for 2020. You've seen our videos on that. If you haven't, check out our website or check out our YouTube channel. All kinds of Kia Telluride information on there. In the States, the Telluride was marketed with dark rims. They were a very limited production in the States as well. We got nothing of those in Canada. I would expect that they will bring that in the 2020 model, or in 2020 year, you may be able to see that later in the year for that. We'll see how things go. Kia Sedona, the last car we're looking at. The LX, the LX Plus, and the SX are the only models you can get, which means the L, SX Plus, SXL, SXL Plus models are no longer. What do we do there? Basically simplified the process. Most of our cars have a few trim lines. The Sedona is now down to 3 trim lines. The L model, which was the base model, we didn't sell a ton of those. You can't get that anymore, which is fine because most people went with the LX model anyways. Great features, great value. In that minivan segment, the Sedona is a tremendous value. Consumer Reports loves it for reliability. Really, really good car. And all we've done is simplified the trim lines, added good value in there, and taken away the really high-end models that didn't sell a whole lot. We now have the Telluride as an 8-passenger high-end car. So 8-passenger mid-level car, Sorento, typical minivan buyer, we have you covered in those 3 trim lines. So simplification of the trim lines, tremendous value. So that is 2020 Kia. Now I left out a whole bunch of details. As these cars come in, we are going to fill your YouTube channel playlists with information on those cars. If you want to know more about any specific model, let me know in the comments below because we'll make videos on those cars or we'll answer your questions on those trims. We'll do all we can to give you the information we can. So thanks everybody for watching. That is 2020's upcoming models from Kia.